So, you want to bag your Ford Everest. Hello and welcome to a new video, guys. And hi, we are at our new studio here in Makati pa din. Our new shop, as you can see, we have not yet fully renovated. Some of parts of the studio still needs to be patched up. You can still see a car behind us. So, but nonetheless, the video is about the Ford Everest. Sa likod ko, behind me, we have a bag slammed to the floor, Ford Everest. It is done, ready for release. And today, we're not gonna let it pass. We're going to catalog video this car. We're going to discuss the front suspension, rear suspension, saan namin tinago yung system, where's the spare tire, where's the compressors, where's the tank. Stick around if you want to know about those things. Stick around, you're gonna learn about that in a bit. But this is also applicable for other SUVs. We have a Fortuner, a Montero. You also have catalog videos for that. So if you have those cars, feel free to watch those. All right, the Ford Everest is one of those cars in the Philippines that's very, very popular. Okay, it's one of the big three of the SUV market: the Fortuner, the Everest, the Montero. All right, those were almost the top-selling cars, and yeah. Having this on the catalog is actually very significant for us, as I'm pretty sure some of you guys with Ford Everest are actually curious on how to bag your car, or what does it feel like, what does it look like to slam a Everest. Ito na. This is as aired out as it can get. And one thing to note then is this is not our first Everest build. We actually built an Everest back in 2020. This is the latest one to the addition to the catalog, and onto that we are actually making a catalog video for it, as you are watching now. But yeah, before anything else, I would like to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Like and share the video, hit the bell icon for the notification, and lend me your ears, lend me your attention, as on this part of the video, we're going to get technical and educational. We're going to discuss the front and rear suspension, all of the technical details, so that you would know how to bag your Ford Everest, all right? So, I'll see you on the under chassis part of this video. Hello and welcome to the front suspension ng Ford Everest that we have here in front of us. It's actually very, very similar to a Toyota front suspension ng SUV nila. Why? It's because the double wishbone setup is actually nasa taas ng shocks. Why? Explain. So sa mga Navara kasi, Navara at saka Montero, Mitsubishi and Nissan, yung control arm nila nasa baba ng shocks, yung upper control arm na to. So the shocks are actually placed higher sa wheel well. Meanwhile, for the Ford Everest Toyotas, the upper control arms are actually sandwiching the airbag on the middle. So yun lang naman yung parang key point ko dun sa Ford Everest na ito. And of course, that makes it difficult. Pag nasa gitna ng dalawang control arm yung ating airbag or yung shock assembly natin, medyo madami tayong kailangang iwasan. Like the spindle assembly on the right side of the airbag. And of course, itong cowling na to sa likod. The classic SUV cowling na kailangan mong iwasan. So yun lang naman. Other than that, special assembly will be made or be machined para hindi tayo sumabit dun sa mga kailangan sabitan. A double wishbone suspension does not pivot sa axis. So everything is just moving around up and down. So we don't have to worry about our hose lines getting into places na hindi naman dapat sumabit. Okay? Once again, it's going to be very difficult for us to do this for your car. So please give us time to do it. Ample amount of time ang kailangan namin sa ganitong setup kasi mahihirapan kami dahil ng mga kailangan namin iwasan. Upper control arm, spindle, cowling, lahat. Toe arm. Pag 4x4 pa to lalo kasi may axle dito sa ilalim. But yeah, as you can see naman, maluwag lahat ng kamay ko. If you haven't noticed, kaninang ginaganon ko yung ating clearances. I'm actually checking everything as well. Okay naman yung pagkakagawa ng boys natin, and we just have to double check everything. So regardless, pasado na to. Let's go to the back side and let's actually discuss the rear suspension of the Ford Everest and how we did the air suspension conversion. Hello and welcome to the rear suspension of the Ford Everest, and as you can see, we're underneath the car. We're going to be a bit interactive right now as we need to show you inside of the assembly na suspension niya kasi nakatago or hidden yung air spring natin sa loob ng torsion beam assembly niya. Okay? So, a few things that you need to notice or know. This is our differential. The axles of the car is inside this assembly. So, it makes it look like a torsion beam assembly. Okay? The bags are actually sitting on top of the axles. and that's our spring catches on the top and the bottom. Okay, so dependent rear suspension. When the left side bounces, the right side bounces as well. What does that give us? Gives us a very rough ride kung hindi maganda yung springs na kinakabit natin. And we are using a triple bellow airbag on the back side for two things. Okay, dalawa. The first is for comfort kasi triple bellows will hold damping better than double bellows. And then of course, it has more lifting capabilities because this is a different vehicle type. It's a heavier car and we need to lift the car better. Now, bakit sa unahan, on the front, you only use double bellows? It's because that's as much as we can put sa double wishbone setup natin na medyo masikip ang clearance. That's the best what we can put there. Unlike here, triple bellows will work because there's a lot of space. Albeit, nakatago siya. See? But inside, it has ample amount of space that nothing will actually puncture the bag accidentally. Yun lang naman. That's the only things that we need to know. Take note on the rear side of the suspension ng Everest. Okay, we're going to move to the system, which actually, literally, on its right side here. So we're going to cut that into a bit. We're gonna just change angles. And yeah, to summarize, dependent rear suspension, divorced nga pala, the shocks are right here. Okay, and we have a triple bellow bag on the back for comfort and lifting capabilities. Alright, hello and welcome to the system, or the sa ilalim ng Ford Everest na ito, where we have our air tank on the left side here. And we have the compressors right over here. Okay, some key points to note. This is the hoist of the spare tire. As you can see, the spare tire is not installed yet. But when the spare tire is installed, the spare tire will cover the compressors. It will shield it from the elements. But at the same time, it is mounted in a way that you don't have to remove your compressors just to remove your spare tire. So yun yung purpose nitong layout na to. So you can easily remove your spare tire when you need it, and it won't affect your air suspension system. With this, we have to put the air tank on the left side of the car, where there's actual space. On the right side of the car, kasi we have the exhaust right over here. So we only have space on the left side. Alright, so this layout will actually give us the opportunity to keep your spare tire, and of course, make everything OEM pa rin, so that we don't have to sacrifice your spare tire for air suspension. That was the previous problem sa SUV builds namin. But right now, we have a better solution na yun, separating those two systems now and having the spare tire hide the compressor is actually best of both worlds right now. So yun, we just wanted to show you how it's mounted. It's mounted here on the left, compressors here, and it's gonna be non-invasive. In short, hindi siya makakaabala sa normal operations ng kotse. Okay? The system is way above sa loob ng cabin because, of course, we don't want it getting wet. It's an electronic device, so it has to be inside the car. Let's cut to that real quick and show you the system where the valve is and its new control system. Alright, quick lang. This is actually where we put the valve block with our system. This system is actually backlit. So when you open the system, so the system lights up. Alright, so you see Fitment engineering there. That is where we put the system because this is not a sealed valve and the electronics might get, you know, busted if we put it underneath the car. So this is the best place for it, near the power supply. Actually, this is where we got the supply for the valve block itself. And then, but all of the exhaust noises of the purge and the air out is routed outside the car, so we won't, you know, startle the passengers. But overall, yeah, it's still a 7-seater, everything's complete, and we have our system there. It's a nice touch when you open your trunk. Uy, Fitment engineering, right? So, yun lang. Okay, let's drop the car and actually finish up this video. Let's head into our conclusions. Hello and welcome to the outro of the video of the car. As you can see, the car is back on the floor. Quick recap lang, we discussed on the front side that we do have a double wishbone suspension in the front. Okay, very similar to a Fortuner actually, FJ Cruiser and Land Cruiser yung front suspension ng Everest. The rear suspension is more similar to a Montero and an FJ Cruiser as well. So in that sense, let's start up the car and show you the dynamics of the car. As you can see rin sa video natin, tinago namin yung system saan. Where did we put the system? It's actually on the spare tire. The compressors are covering the are being covered by the spare tire. The tank itself is on the left side. So as you can see, non-compromise, no compromise build. Your spare tire is where it should be, and the air suspension is not invasive in this case, no? So this is as low as it can go. All right, of course, it's an SUV. Don't expect a lot of things for an SUV to drop. Pero what the client is after is the adjustability for him to look good. He wants to drive a bit lower to eliminate some body roll. Of course, he wants to lift the car pa rin to utilize the full capability ng SUV niya. When it gets flooded, you know, he can raise up the car. Or when he's gonna do light off-road, light trails lang, he can still do it. And then on the highway, he can still drop the car. So let's actually raise up the car as we talk, because it's gonna take a while for us to fill up the tank to its maximum level. Let me get some signal. All right, so right now, this is the ride height number 3. We still have to wait for the compressors to fill up. But for now, while we're waiting, the difficulty of an SUV build is actually it's quite difficult to build an SUV actually. So we actually require 10 days to 14 days to build an SUV compared to a 7-day build to a sedan. That's what I wanted to say. So don't expect your car to be finished immediately when you have an SUV. But nonetheless, we can do it. We have to make sure everything is correct. This is a heavier car. Has more dynamics than a standard sedan. All right, there's lots more at stake. So it's a heavier, more difficult car to do, so we expect a bit more time to finish it. But yeah, it's not gonna take too long. All right, let's wait for the car to pump up and let's get back there in a bit. I want to show you the full lift capabilities of when it's fully aired up, stock height and lowered height, okay? All right, the car's fully aired up. And now I'm going to give you the dynamics of the car, or the lift capability of the car. This is around 2-inch lift, I think, by estimate. So, 8 fingers yan. Sa mga curious, how much is 8 fingers? That's around 120 millimeters. Okay? Sa likod, yeah, 8 fingers din, so 120 millimeters. So, from stock height, probably increase about 2 inches lift. So, you can go to your stock height niya. So this is the lifted height. Then we can go to stock height. Then we can do a 2-inch drop. So from 2-inch lift, stock height, 2-inch lift, 2-inch drop to air out. You get all of the adjustments. In short, what I'm trying to say is, despite having this lowered setup, despite having air suspension, hindi mako-compromise yung car, the SUV itself. Of course, the word SUV is an acronym for Sports Utility Vehicle. Hindi mawawala yung pagka-utility ng kotse. Okay? So, yeah, yun lang naman. That's the only thing I wanted to say. I wanted to show you guys. So, hope that was informative and hope that gives light into bagging your SUV. Okay, we didn't want to do an invasive approach to it. I don't want na mawala yung pagka-functional ng SUV. So this is our best example for you. And of course, for like the Fortuner din na updated video namin, that's also a great example. You get all of the lift capability, you get all the lowered looks, you get all the comfort, you still have your spare tire, hindi mawawala yung capabilities ng SUV mo, and it may have been better than before. This is why the Land Rovers, the Range Rovers, you know, they have air suspension. The high-end Benz SUVs, the G-Class, naka-air suspension sila. Because they want that premium feel, a better ride quality, and of course, all of the adjustabilities. And that's something we can offer for your normal SUV, like the Everest, okay, the Fortuner, the Montero, and more. Okay? So that's going to be it for now. That's all the time we have. Hopefully that was informative for you guys. And before anything else, please like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for the notification. It really helps, all right? As we end this year, thank you so much for watching, okay? It's been Cal from Fitment Engineering, and you're watching Fitment TV. And that is how to bag your Ford Everest. This is how, all right? I'll see you guys in the next episode. Maraming salamat. Another SUV done and added to our catalog video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you. Goodbye.